In this video, we're going to review basic configuration and navigation of a blank Tracking Plus database. Here we can see I've started the Tracking Plus application. I'm going to click Connect, and I'm going to ensure that I'm connecting to the correct service that's running in my middleware, the correct server, and then the default is administrator with a password of password lowercase. We'll go ahead and connect, and I can see that I've connected to the database as I now have some items in my left-hand navigation node over here. The defaults are my items, accounts, and there's a configuration that has some different options here. First thing we may want to do is go to accounts. We can search. There should only be an administrator account to begin with. I can double click this and I can go ahead and update this with some information. So if I want to put in my name as a first name, last name, I can change the password here, make sure it's enabled, and I can go ahead and save this account. If I wanted to add a new account, I could click the new button, type in my information, make sure that it's enabled, and then click Save. Now that I've added a new account, let's go ahead and try to connect to it with that account. And we can see we've now connected with the Jane Doe account. Next thing we may want to do is go to our configuration and add some changes here. So account types, you may have noticed when I added the account, there was only administrator as an option. So I'm going to right click, choose new, and just type user. As soon as I do that, if we were to go to create a new account, you'll see that user is now available under the account types. I'm going to go ahead and go to locations. So locations would be anywhere that items can be tracked to. We're going to just add a generic location right now. We're going to right click, choose new, and add a warehouse location. I'm also going to right click, choose new, and add a dock location. To see how to configure these locations with a fixed RFID reader or a handheld reader, please refer to those videos. There's one specifically for fixed readers and one for the handheld. Our item types are to help me classify the types of items that I'm tracking that are RFID tagged. So again, I'm going to right click, choose new, and maybe I have some folders. So I'm going to go ahead and choose folders. I'm going to right click, new, maybe I have some laptops. If I'm tracking assets, maybe I have some monitors, etc. So we've now added a couple different item types. And we can even go to document types if we want to start attaching documents as well in the system. Right click, choose new, and add some document types. Maybe when we want to attach purchase orders for our assets in the system. I'm going to go up to the items section, and when you click on this, you'll notice that it pulls up a search screen. This allows me to search by the fields and the options that we have up here. If I do a blank search, it's just going to pull up everything in the database. This is a blank database, so I currently do not have anything in here. But let's go ahead and add a couple items. So I'm going to click the new button. When I click new, it brings up a new window, and here we can see this type drop-down are our item types that we added. So again, maybe I have a laptop that I'm adding to the system. So I'm adding a Dell Inspiron laptop, and we'll just give it a barcode, and we'll say that barcode is also the serial number for this item. I'm going to go ahead and click create, and we've now created that item in the system. I can manually set the initial location if I want to. I would just click this set button. I can say that this is a found item because maybe I'm just asset tagging it right now, and I'm going to say it's in the warehouse. And I could type some notes, but in this case I'm just going to click save. What you'll notice now is that we've got some additional information filled in down here at the bottom. It shows us the status, the most recent date and time, where the item was inventoried, and then who the user was. If we go across these tabs across the bottom, we have history. So this shows us some additional audit trail information, such as when the item was created, who created it. If it was transferred or inventoried, we've got that information. Images, this is where I could attach some images to the system if I wanted to. To add an image, we're going to click the Add button. We're going to go ahead and click the Browse button and browse to a location on our computer where it has the image that we want to attach. We can type in a little bit of a description if we want. And we've got some basic image modifications such as inverting the color, changing it to grayscale, rotating, etc. I'm going to go ahead and click Add, and now we can see the image is added to this record. You can add multiple images if needed, and we can zoom in, do a basic zoom in on the image. You can also export it to save it, click View to launch it in your image viewer, whatever's your default on Windows, and delete. The Documents tab works very similar. I will click Add. Again, we've got this document type drop-down, which we configured over here. So I'll choose Purchase Order. I could type in some reference information, my purchase order number, and again, I'm going to browse to my PDF file. In this case, click OK, and we can see we've now attached this PDF. If you have Adobe Reader, it'll load in here by default. Currently I don't have that as my default, so I would just click on this, choose View, and it'll launch it in my PDF viewer that's installed in my system. We can go ahead and close, and we're going to go ahead and just add another record quickly here. And we're also going to set this one to be in the warehouse so that now we can look at our search screen. So from here, if I just again do a blank search, it's going to pull everything that's currently in my database. So we can see the status of the item, the location, the type, description, and then we have our EPC, barcode, and serial number fields. I'm going to clear my search results. If I wanted to look at all the items in a specific location, I could choose that location, click Search, and again, I'm going to get that search result. If I was looking for items of a specific type, let me reset this actually. I'm going to choose just monitor. You can do multiple searches, but in this case, since we don't have much data, we're just going to search for monitors, and this would give us a list of all of the monitors in the system. If you knew a part of the description here, such as let's say HP, I could type that, and here's our HP monitor because we typed that in the description. You can get specific if you have a lot of data, so we can say it has to be an exact match. Any, which is what I currently did, is sort of a keyword match. Prefix would mean this has to be at the beginning of the description. Suffix would be these are the characters at the end. If you needed to search by one of the other fields, such as EPC, barcode, or serial, you could choose those here and then type in the serial number to search for that. Or a partial. As you can see, I wasn't sure, so I just typed 6 and we got a partial result. And again, any item that's in the system, you'd be able to double click it. It'll pull up this information so that you can look at the tracking, history, images, or documents for that item. As the item moves through the system, either through your fixed readers or being inventoried with a handheld scanner, this tracking and history tabs will start filling in with additional information. And to show that, I'll go ahead and track this to the dock so that we can see another record. Most recent by default is always going to be at the top. That should be the current location as well as over here. If you want to set an owner for an item, so someone who's responsible for this item, maybe this is the person we've issued this asset to, you can go ahead and click Checkout. We can search for an account here. So I'm going to just choose Lookup and do a blank search, but I could have typed in the name if I knew it. I'm going to choose John Doe, and I can type in a note. Maybe he's a new employee. And now we've checked out this asset to John Doe. We can see here under history, it shows that John Doe currently has this item checked out to him. I'm going to go ahead and check out the monitor as well to John Doe. So this time I'll go ahead and just search for John. We'll choose him. I'm not going to type a note this time, but we've now checked out 2 assets to John Doe. If you ever need to see the assets that are checked out to a specific person, we can go to the Accounts section, search for them, and then here in Items we can see any of the items that are currently listed in their possession, so that are checked out to them. And History will show us some additional information for this particular employee. So again, this is audit trail information. We get to see when they log in, if they've updated, when they logged off, and when items were checked out to them, along with those notes.